Hello and welcome people to a new Let's Play of one of the reasons why I even bothered to get a PlayStation 3. This game is called
Infamous?
Folklore.
Oh.
No, I don't even have that. It was made by Game Republic, people known mostly for Genji, the Dawn of Samurai, from what I remember. And it had quite a lot of very good people involved with it. Like for example, some key people from Capcom who left it, like the creator of Street Fighter and I think the first Resident Evil. But we will begin.
That was a very pretty opening title screen.
I lost my mother when I was very young. My only memory of her is telling me bedtime fairy tales about a mysterious village. The village of Doolin, where the living could meet the dead. And now she tells me she's alive. Mother, why did you wait so long?
I told you! This is as far as I go!
Please, just get us a little closer to the shore.
Not a chance in hell! We'd never make it back! I have a family to look after, miss, so leave me out of this! I'm decided! We're turning back!
Wait! I must see my mother.
It's for your own good!
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll get there on my own.
Miss, you'll be killed?
A dark cloud cast over my life with my mother's death and the ensuing solitude. I will not rest until I find her.
Even in modern times, many phenomena go unexplained. Spiritual encounters are constantly reported in all corners of the globe. At the same time, the march of modern science makes a steady advance. It may not be long before the boundaries between life and death, indeed, the destinies of men, will be dissected and explained to us by modern science. You may find it strange for me, a reporter for an occult magazine, to say this. Oh, damn it. Another prank call. Editorial department, Unknown Realm magazine.
Help! Help me! These fairies,
What? Speak up, please.
they'll kill me!
Hmm?
The village, Doolin, on the cliff of sea. Help me!
Wait. Hello? Hey, hello. Ouch. Damn, what a mess. I don't have time for this. We see this kind of prank all the time. But somehow, this won't seem different. So, I headed to the village of Doolin, the realm of the dead.
Is it you, Mother? I wanted so very much to see you. It was very hard without you. I was so young. But that doesn't matter anymore. Why won't you answer me?
Excuse me.
What?
Are you the one who telephoned me?
Who are you? Why would I?
Perhaps not. What about the lady over there?
Mother!
Hey, no, don't touch. She's dead. We gotta call the
Let me
police.
go! Mother! Oh my God. Someone! Someone, please!
A murder in the village of the dead. Tell me this is a joke.
And now we're gonna get one of the main shticks of this game, which is two main characters. The story is told through the perspective of both of them, and it's actually substantially different. I'm gonna be doing it in the order of Ellen Keats, Ellen Keats, Ellen Keats, until we get to the very end.
Why not Keith and Ellen? Huh?
You'll see. I've made that. I've done that in that order, because particularly the events in the very first chapter start off with Ellen and finish with Keats. So a lot of things just wouldn't make much sense.
Ah.
In the later parts, it doesn't make quite as much difference.
See.
But yeah, this is a weird game. Particularly, it's also one of the main reasons why it went by completely unnoticed. And it has Bayonetta-esque cutscenes. And it was way before Bayonetta, actually.
Is that our first party member?
And now we don't get party members. Well, not human ones, at the very least. The main thing with this game, it came out in 2007. Now, 2007 for the PlayStation 3 was not a very good year. As in, there was total amount of 4 games anybody even cared about. That being Gran Turismo, Killzone, Disgaea 3, and I guess something else. Now, the problem with that is everybody who owned a PS3 at that time was very serious about that particular genre of what that game was about. Like, I mean, Gran Turismo is hardcore for racing fans. Disgaea 3 is hardcore for anyone who just gets off on grinding. And and Killzone was overall a pretty well established, everyone knew it was gonna have like a ton of money thrown into it, so everyone knew that it was gonna be at least worth checking out. Besides an FPS, they were all pretty much the same, and if it has enough money thrown into it, it's pretty good. That's at least my opinion of a person who never played an FPS because he can't take because of motion sickness. Now,
But hey, it can't be any worse than Homefront, right?
no, nothing can. The thing is, this game is not very certain about what genre it actually is. Because it's a compilation of a whole of a bunch of things, and the thing is, nobody who owned any other game on the system would be interested in something like this. This is somewhat of a JRPG, visual novel, action RPG, gonna catch 'em all style game.
So this was made by people who had no idea what an RPG was.
They didn't make a single RPG before, but the RPG elements in this are so minuscule, they may have as well throw them out, at least when it comes to the level ups of the character itself. The rest is more or less the rest of the upgrading is actually pretty well done. And now weird things start happening.
That's how they spell fairies.
Actually, yes, it is one of the possible spellings.
Huh. Half-lives.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yep.
Totally.
Okay, I already don't like her.
She's not too, well... She's not too important to the plot.
I swear, if the twist at the end of this game is that it was a dream the entire time, I'm gonna be upset.
Don't worry. It's not too much of a spoiler, but it's not a thing.
Okay.
That they would do. Also, one other thing worth mentioning, this game is one of the only ones where they use motion controls, and I would never remove them. It's also one of the reasons why I had to buy a new PS3 controller.
Okay, 1, visual novel cutscene. 2, the music reminds me of Winnie the Pooh for some reason.
It's very British. It's another reason why I like it so much, because I seem to have a thing for Japanese RPGs that are set in Britain. It's very adventure game-esque when it comes to presenting its story, but it doesn't have any point-and-click adventure elements, so to say. There aren't really any puzzles.
You know,
And there is a little guy here. You can see him standing on the table.
you should name your next rat for daring. Totally.
That's too long.
Okay, well then get 2 rats. Name 1 fur and name the other daring.
That is a good idea.
But, Ellen seems to be taking this whole spirits of the dead thing in stride. You know.
I just like to imagine that she's completely horrified and she cannot say a thing. I mean, look at this guy.
Oh, this game had DLC in it?
Yes, it does, and I actually got all of it. I will be covering it eventually. That is one other thing that's worth mentioning. It came out around the time where everybody was like, oh, DLC is evil.
Yeah.
An absolutely unacceptable invention that they've done just to take more cash from you. The DLC in this game is laughably cheap. It was when it came out, and it still is. And I can't really say much for the quality of them, not because they're bad, but because I haven't played them yet, and I can't say. And she has a tiny hedgehog on her shoulder. It's adorable. In any case, I will be covering the DLC things. I have heard good opinions on them. It's mostly just get new stuff, some new gear for certain characters, and actually some more story elements thrown in there and there. And there were also a couple free DLCs, some free. I'm not gonna spoil what, but some there was also a Christmas costume for her, which is always nice.
Gee, I wonder why they call him that.
Oh, and also I'm not skipping them so fast. It's just they go in like rounds and series. It will become a lot more annoying as the game goes on, because there are some cutscenes where the text just goes by at lightning fast speed,
Jesus.
and
No,
you can't pause it in any way.
You know, I can
one-
totally see your whole horrified theory because, you know, looking at how Ellen moves around, she's constantly holding her chest, so she must be like, oh god, please don't eat me.
I mean, have you seen Cousin It behind the bar?
Right.
He actually
So-
has eyes. That is even more horrifying.
So,
I guess that is one of the reasons why he always wears glasses.
So, that hole in the floor you examined said Keith's house, right?
Yes.
Why does he live in a hole in the ground?
Because you'll see why. When we eventually when we cover the Keats chapter.
Mm.
That is creepy as all hell.
Yeah. Get your clothes. She's already wearing clothes.
Well, you know, he has it in for women in moaning. He probably has prepared something a bit more revealing. One thing in this game that's one of my major complaints is the lack of voice acting, which would have made a lot of those scenes a lot more lively.
Yeah.
They only have voice acting during very short in-engine cutscenes, and also during the FMVs, which there are like 5 of. We're gonna see one of them very, very soon. What I'm doing here right now, I am just enjoying the fact that they actually recorded like a whole bunch of different steps.
Eh.
No, it's not coming up just yet. We'll see it in a second after this comic book section is done.
Another world battle. You know, if you're already dead, what's the point of fighting?
Everything will be explained. I don't want to spoil.
Her face.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's another thing. Her faces are very weird, and she's really the only. She and maybe that other girl we've seen on the coast, on the beach. They have really weird faces. All the other people are pretty much fine, but Ellen has very awkward facial expressions. And she constantly has that, oh god, I dropped a bucket of whatever on the ground expression.
Put on the cloak of sea, and you can meet the dead. The rest, Ellen. It's up to you. But be careful. Finding her might not be a good thing.
Oh, help me!
Hang on!
Let me go!
Hey, finished! Need to be careful. This guy, he'll suck the life out of you just to spite you. Lucky for me, I'm already half dead. I'll say this just one more time. The Netherworld's a very dangerous place. If you go there, you may never make it back.
I must see my mother. If there is any chance of finding her, I can face any danger.
Fancy.
Oh yeah. I love the FMVs in this game. They really like to add the particle effects in them.
You know, I gotta say, Scarecrow's voice sounds exactly like I imagined it.
You know, yeah, you only hear it like 3 times in the game, which is kind of sad, because you talk to him a lot. He's like your partner, at least, well, for Ellen.
Suddenly, a hut appears.
Mm-hmm. And now we're in the action RPG part of the game. Well, not for like a couple more minutes, but this is where the actual gameplay begins, and this is where the game really shines when it comes to the graphics.
Yeah, it looks very pretty.
Yes, it was pretty much one of the very first games to actually show off what HD graphics were all about. And it doesn't really do it at the cost of performance either. It runs at pretty steady frame rate of 30. It drops sometimes, but it's mostly loading problems due to it being on a Blu-ray. It's like it has unoptimized loadings, like whenever you go to the menu or something like that. Which is a bit of a downer, but it doesn't ruin the game for me. I'm not gonna be covering those because it's gonna be covered in the tutorial that's coming right up ahead.
I like how he literally said, "Click on the brackets when I talk."
Yes, because well, they're fairies. They probably just talk in brackets. That's
Totally.
something I would expect from them. And here we see the creatures. They're fucking adorable. Particularly the one on the right.
So so if there are ids, are there also egos and super egos?
No, but there are bigger monsters and more of them. There's a whole bunch of monsters, and now that's actually really cool how they show it here. This is exactly what happened to Scarecrow when he got attacked by the cloak. His id was falling out. I find it really cool that they first show that, and then they actually give you an explanation for what the fuck was actually going on there. And yes, this is important. For now, pretty much every single enemy you find is going to be weak to your only attack that you have for now.
They're dancing, look at them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like how Ellen is literally just kind of clawing at them and hoping it works.
No, she like actually froze the guy.
Oh, okay.
This is why they're assigned to the button. It will become more apparent with particularly with kids and some of the later folks you get. But pay attention here. You see?
I saw the dude pop out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There is actually a distinctive difference with how Ellen attacks and how Keats attacks. In that Ellen more like lets them do their thing, so to say. she throws them out to do their thing, whereas Keats, you will see he gets a lot more involved.
Please tell me he uses one of them as a bat. That'd be great.
I don't particularly remember, but he does use them more like tools. So you're not too far off with that. And here, because we absorbed enough of them, now we get a longer combo.
Now it's a 3-hitter.
It's a very well thought out mechanic, because it's both the best way to get rid of your enemies and the fastest one, and also the one that yields the most experience for you.
Well,
And also you should always try to get as many of them as you can. You can actually get different species of folks at the same time with the same draw, as I will show here. Or not. That's the
never
thing.
mind.
Yeah, like here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit ambiguous for they need to be like they need to be in front of you. If they're like further than her peripheral vision, they don't exist. The only thing that will kind of prevent you from getting multiples is if there is a different way of obtaining those different folks, which will be covered in later chapters. There are a couple which involve different functions of the 6-axis. And no, it's not absolutely god-awful. This game is actually the only example of it being done correctly.
So it's not Heavenly Sword.
Nope.
Thank goodness.
And here is just an extra area where I just kill some more. There isn't actually anything here. And also
Yeah.
I will demonstrate some other feature, which is actually more. It seems annoying at first, but it's more useful than annoying.
And key it absorb.
Yeah, it actually put another one there on top, but I don't use it here. I actually didn't notice that. But yeah, it's an id of another element, as you can see there. It has a different circle around it.
Yeah.
It's a water elemental.
Okay,
Also, both Keats and Ellen will have different elements at their disposal. There are a couple ones they share, but there are also a couple ones that are unique to one or the other.
And then you leapfrog next screen.
Yeah, thankfully there is no cooldown for that, although it doesn't seem particularly faster. But yeah, this is the feature I was talking about that can seem a little bit annoying at first, but it's actually a lot better than if it weren't here. Every time you leave an area, all of the folks respawn. However, if there was anything like a wall that prevented you from progressing before, that was destroyed by you defeating every folk in the area, they will always stay open. What is really good about the folks reappearing after you leave the area is if there was only one of them and you happen to kill them by accident, they will reappear there, even if there were a slightly bigger enemy, which like pseudo boss, which both if you haven't managed to get one.
Nice.
Yes, and a multiplier of 2. But if you haven't managed to get one, you can just get another try. And if you just want to get more experience for that particular folk, that is also an option.
Good.
Yeah. And also, if you just want to get past them, they're not like you can just leap through the entire place. Skippity skip like a freaking ballerina.
Yeah. You know, Nico, I gotta say, your home country's one weird place.
I don't live there. Well, no, I do. Well, I was thinking you meant England and not the Nether Realm, but yeah, you're actually right.
See, told you.
Hmm.
That said, England's pretty weird.
Well, they get most things accurately, except for the fact that it doesn't rain here, 2/3 of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. One thing I wanted to mention before I forget. The lighting effects are slightly off in this game. Not that the shadows are, so to say, they're always static and they're always like in one particular position, or that they glitch. It's more that there is one source of light per each area. The shadows do actually change in length, and they do actually change depending on the surface. They even change on the freaking grass, which is really rare. But they don't react to like those lanterns. And also, if you noticed in the at the very beginning, there were lanterns, but the yeah, that's totally where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
There were lanterns, but her shadow would not change at all. It's a little bit off, but it doesn't ruin the game. I mean, how much are you going to be looking at the shadows when there is just so much more to look at, particularly in the Nether Realm? Not the reunion she was probably hoping for.
So do we have to kill her own mother now?
Well, I mean, if she was there, she's probably already dead.
Well, yeah, but kill her again.
Kill her soul. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically how they keep the game from being 1 day long.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering at first, is if, you know, they're gonna be like, this whole thing happens in one night.
Couldn't help myself.
Incredible.